Hey guys, Crafting It Up in Creations, coming at you with day 4 of the 12 Days of Christmas in my Ornament series. And right here I'm going to show you exactly what all things I'm going to use in this video. I've got some of the plastic candy canes from the Dollar Tree, cookie cutters from the Dollar Tree, and they come in a set of 6. The candy canes are a set of 6 also. So 6 for $1 on both of those is such a great deal. But even a better deal than that is the shower rings. You get 12 in a pack for $1 at the Dollar Tree, and usually these are at least $2 to $3 anywhere else you go to find those. And you can get them in all kinds of different colors, but I got white and clear. I'm going to use several different fabrics. I've got tons of homespun fabrics that I use for other crafts, and so I went through all my assortment of fabrics that I have, and I kind of just show you what they all look like. You can use all kinds of different colors and cut them into about a 1-inch strip, and you can wrap them around any of these things. You know, whether it's the candy cane, the cookie cutters, or the shower rings. And like I say, I have several different ones here. And through this video, I'm going to kind of speed up through a lot of it. I was trying to make this shorter. You will need a glue gun and some hot glue sticks. And this is the Shore Bonder detailed gun. But I put glue on the tip and then wrapped the fabric around these candy canes. And these are so popular. I love these. I've done these at craft shows before and sold them for just $1 a piece. And these are like little fat quarters, but they're folded up into triangles. And they're from a farmer's market up in Harrisonburg, Virginia. And they're really nice. Now this is out of the auto section at the Dollar Tree. It's like a Sherpa blanket that you would use to dry off your car. It's really soft. And I love it. They even have them like in a chevron print, and I haven't been able to find that yet. I'm still on the lookout. But I cut little 1-inch strips of this as well. It does flake off really bad. Now these are dress it up buttons. I have found so many different ones of those at Joann Fabrics and Crafts and AC Moore. These are from the Target Dollar Spot. This is table scatter. The other was some wooden tags. This is from AC Moore. It's just some bead. And they have it in silver, red, and a pearl color. But I just hot glued it and wrapped it around the tree and even used it to hang it from. But it kind of just really adds to it. And here's what the red looks like, and the pearl. And I love those. And I've used a lot out of them so far, and it doesn't look like I've used any. Now these are Make It Christmas little pieces that, you know, look like jewels. And you can add them to something. It really gives it some pop. Now this is like some tinsel garland. I didn't end up using this, but I've had it for a while, and I've used so much of it, and I still have some left. These little woodland creatures, I just love them. I'm going to end up using those on a few things. And here's where I wrapped it. I added one of these little Winter Wonderland pieces. Those are from the Target Dollar Spot too. It says wooden tag, but it shows them like off of a wine glass, I guess to designate whose wine glass is whose. And I glued those to several of these cookie cutters and the shower rings. I just thought it really added something to it. I love how it looks, and I love the font on it. Now that was a snowman. This is another shower ring. And I apologize I'm going so fast through them. I was really trying to make this video not so long. This is only the 4th day of Christmas, and I'm working up to day 12. And I got carried away with like the last couple videos with I just keep making stuff. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to edit and post this soon, or it's going to be Christmas before it's over with. So I'm just showing you a bunch of different ideas and a bunch of different things that I've done. This snowflake was much more intricate, used a whole lot of fabric in order to get around in some of those nooks and crannies, but it was fun. I think it turned out really well. But at the very end of the video, I'm going to go through and show you all the different things, or ornaments that I made. These are some little nurse buttons. It's like Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus, and they're so cute. I just love some of these little buttons. And I have loved always purchasing these little buttons. I have so many from even years past. I really love these little see-through snowflakes. I threw them on quite a few different ones. So I put a bunch on my little snowman, and I just thought that really was super cute added to him. But they're actually my favorite. If I could go back and get more, I probably would. But, you know, you can add them to any of the ornaments, and it just kind of adds a little pop to them. So here I'm going to show you the shower ring. You want to close it off. And we're going to put a little bit of hot glue in that area to hold it. And you don't really need a whole lot or anything. Just something to kind of hold it down. You could even do it without it, but I figured it would pull on me. But basically you're just going to wrap it all the way around the shower ring. And you would do the same with the candy cane and the cookie cutters. Now the cookie cutters, sometimes in order to get in an intricate spot, I would even kind of twist the fabric a little. And the only thing that you want to make sure when you do that is that you don't see the white under part, and that you still see the print. And then I'm going to wrap it around this edge. And I kind of glue it down in the section where it touches there. And then I'm going to make a loop out of it as well. So I'm going to glue it there on the under edge. And then bring it back around. Glue a little there and make a loop. Now you don't really even need to do that, because I did take some baker's twine and create the loop as well. And if you haven't, you will see by the end of the video, I have one of those little finger protectors to kind of help protect me from the glue gun. This is not a high temp one, so it's not as bad, but you still put your finger on it, it still hurts. But I just had so much fun with these. Like this one I bumped up against the little piece on the back and glued it on there. But a lot of those buttons I actually use wire cutters to cut off the back of them. I use ribbon. So my advice to you is to look in your stash. If you have fabric, use fabric. If you have ribbon, use ribbon. If nothing else, buy the dollar twine at the Dollar Tree and wrap these. They look so cute, and I ended up not even wrapping any of them with twine until just a few days ago. And I just wrapped one. I will include some pictures of it at the end. But I don't know why I hadn't even done the twine one yet, because I love that look. Now this is kind of like a rose gold ribbon. And let me just tell you, this one ends up being one of my very favorite ones. I just end up loving it. And it's kind of tricky sometimes to get it to cover these edges. If you can actually even get that to stay, a little dab of hot glue would be good under there to kind of, you know, hold its place. And that way you don't have to worry about later on that it'll expose, you know, the red part of the cookie cutter. And as you can see, I kind of twist that ribbon around that area because it is kind of long. And I'm going to wrap it all the way around. And I apologize if I sound like I have a cold. I actually have been sneezing today. My allergies are giving me a fit. But I have so many homemade ornaments now already, and it's only day 4. I just get carried away with making some of these. So I have big plans. I am going to give one to all my coworkers. And we're actually going to do a Secret Santa thing now. So I'll probably pick out something special, you know, for whoever I draw. But I think what I'm going to do is give one to the patients who are in the hospital, especially when they're in the hospital on Christmas. It really stinks. But I've even bought some suction cups so that I can, if nothing else, I can put it up in their window or on the case where, you know, below their TV, so it'll, you know, stay there and they can see it. But just a little something. And I like to do that kind of thing and not tell them who it's from. My coworkers will end up knowing who it's from because they know who the crafty person is. But I don't really want acknowledgement for it. I just want to brighten their day and make them smile. So I end up taking the Believe one is my favorite one. And I do kind of look to see where I want it to fall at and then put the glue down. And I kind of do that with the ones on the shower ring as well, because I don't want to get glue on part of it that I didn't want the glue on. So I kind of look and decide where exactly it's going to hit before I put it on there. Now this is a little bit of a trick with the twine that I do. I double it over and I tie it in a knot. And then we're going to put it in through the ornament and pull it back through the loop. And then it'll come down and hug against that ornament. And I end up putting a dab of glue on it so that it won't move around as well. But I pull that kind of tight. I'm going to dab a little glue on it. And I end up putting it right there on there. And I would have done it even without the bow. But I add the bow to it. I don't even know why I decided it needed the bow, but I did like it after I did that. And on this little thing of angel buttons, there's some stars in there. And so I decided to take those out and put one on each side of the Believe. And I'm just kind of looking at it to make sure it looks okay and that it'll fit. Otherwise, I would have just even put one just to cover the little hole. And a lot of times on those, that's all I do is put one on the side where the hole's at, just to hide that hole there. But this is like a champagne gold color, and I thought it really looked good with the pink. So this is one I'm keeping. I'm not giving this one away because I really love it. The only person I would probably give that to right now would be my mom if she really loved it. Now this is from the Dollar Tree as well, and it comes in red, gold, and silver, and it's like little trim. They've sold this in the past, and I'm sure that in my Christmas craft stuff I had some, but I went ahead and bought each of all the colors because I think I only had it in silver before anyway. But it's real fun. It's kind of got that wire feel in it, you know, so you can kind of mold it around or shape it. It's just like garland, so you could put it on your little mini Christmas trees. But I end up wrapping it around one of the shower rings to kind of add something to it. And it just molds really well to this. You could even, if you wanted to, just use this to wrap around one of the shower rings, and I think it would look really good. I hadn't went that far yet, but now that I know this, I may do another one. But I'm just going to glue that down, and I'm going to put a little bow on the front of this, and then I actually cut off a little piece of the garland as well to go with the bow, because I thought it looked a little plain. So I'm like, and I think I even cut off a couple of the little stars just so there wasn't so many. And I just hot glue that right onto it too. But I love that silvery glisten that it has with it. And then I'm going to add one of the wood pieces to that too. And like I say, some of these I did kind of cock them to the side like that, just because I thought it looked really rustic with it kind of sideways instead of straight across. And that's why I kind of decided where it was going to go first. So I pick out one of the snowmen for this one, and I'm like, I think the red would look good because I didn't want it to all be green. I needed it to have a little bit of pop of color, and I didn't think the blue, it was too light of a blue. Maybe if it had been a dark blue, it would have been okay. But I'm going to cut off the back of that and trim off that piece. Now sometimes if you trim that piece off, it actually makes the button fall apart. If it does do that, you'll want to make sure you glue those other pieces. But as you can see, there's little knots back there, and that's where those are held in. But every now and again, that piece will be what holds that button together. So I'm just going to put some hot glue there, put it down, and I kind of hold it there just for a few seconds till it sets. And I just love these little buttons. So there's my little rubber finger. And this works well with that Sherpa blanket because you really want to put it down and hold it real well when it goes there. Now it doesn't really matter, but it would almost be best to cut off that edge there because it just makes a little bit of a lump. And you already have a little bit of a lump there where that piece comes together. And this stuff has a lot of peel to it. Like if you pick it up and shake it after you've cut it, it goes everywhere. It was all over my pants. I was gonna record and take a picture of it and put it on there, and I just put I kind of peel away these little pieces at the very edge, and then I put some hot glue along that side. Then I'm gonna take my little rubber finger and hold it down just until it catches. And a lot of times it blends in so well it's hard to even tell where. And so this little deer, I did cut off the back part of the button, and I love these deer. These are from AC Moore. They're buttons, and I've used them in several projects now. And I put a couple of those little snowflakes on there, and I tied the twine. This is one of the little foxes that I had. I tied that twine on there, and I did hot glue it a little. I put a little piece of greenery and some berries. And this one actually knotted. It just seemed like it kept wanting to move, and so I ended up knotting it at the top. I put a little gold bow on it to kind of go with his gold antlers. And then of course I wrapped some around a cookie cutter, and I used a piece of little Mary wood sign, and that was from the Target dollar spot as well. It came with like Mary, Believe, Joy, and a couple other things. Now this snowman one, I wasn't so sure you could even tell that it was still a snowman, but the more I keep looking at it, and I'm wondering. So let me know in the comments down below, do you still think that looks like a snowman? I added the little owl charm to him. Now these little owl charms were $1.98, and you got 6 of them, and I just love them. And I added them to a bunch of these, and I cut off the top. It cuts off real easy. You could actually probably do that with scissors because it's just plastic. But I like how I could get almost flush with his head with that. But once you put a little bit of hot glue on his edge and stick him in there, you're not going to see it at all. And I kind of make him look like he's nesting inside of there. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I've used about all 6 of those owls. I've added some greenery in here. And I end up pulling some of this apart, like there, and sticking it downwards and hot gluing it in there. I just think he looks so precious. which I love owls. Which I love all animals, so I don't know what I'm thinking. That's the problem. I love it all. I decided to glue a little bell in there. There's so many different things you can do. So on this one, I decide to kind of go along the bottom and I glue it across. And then I put a couple more across the bottom just to hide the edge of that branch. And there you go. I stuck my finger on it. Now they also have white snowflakes. They've had some where they have different colors, but I found the white ones there last week and I got some of those. And I think I must have did this fast already because I did not speed this part up. These are from Target. They're $3 and you get a set of, I think it's 12. But they're real pretty stars. I actually pulled the tops off of them that you hang them by in order to get them to fit inside of there. This little snowflake is from Joann's. And then here's my candy canes. Now I wrapped them with the homespun and I glued them together. And the little believe, it's a wood sticker that's from the Target Dollar Spot. I made a little twine bow and I hung it with twine at the top. And I looked to see, and this is what the package looks like from Target. And of course I looked to see where that believe would come and line across that in order to know where to glue it at. So at the bottom, you kind of have to glue these and hold them together. It feels like forever, but I'm sure it's only like 20 seconds. But I'm going to show you. And I just did one part at a time. And I held them at the top exactly where it would hit so that it'll glue in the place that I want it to. And even after that dried and then I did the top, I still put extra glue at the bottom and extra glue at the top. And at the top it really didn't matter because I'm going to kind of hide it with twine. And these are some rusty bells that I made in the past. I sprayed them with like a brown spray paint and then a 3D spray paint over top of them. And it just kind of gives it a rusty look. And I did the same thing with this little star. And this star was from the Dollar Tree. It's just a silver star. They came in 2 in a pack or maybe even more. But they've had them in past years. And I ended up spray painting it with the brown and with that 3D paint. And I thought it really made it look like one of those barn stars. So I just hot glue it onto the back. And I really thought it added so much to it. This is one of those that I want to keep. And even if I wouldn't use this as an ornament, it would look really good like in the middle of a wreath or something. I just really like this one. Actually, I like all of those. I'd like to make a few more of the homespun that actually match and make them into hearts like that. I thought they come out real good. Now these are little tin snowflakes. I got these several years ago and I either got them from Oriental Trading or something similar to that. And I covered them with some of that 3D paint. And this one is actually coffee grounds. I actually put Mod Podge, and that's a mixture of coffee grounds, cinnamon, and nutmeg mixed into that. And then Mod Podged it over and then put another layer of Mod Podge on top. And that's why it's kind of shiny looking. But I'm going to add this one to the back of the blue one. And I just hot glue that on there too as well. And I love doing that with some of the Dollar Tree candles. I've done something similar to that. Just made my own grunge mixture. And that's from like a Facebook group that I belonged to a long time ago that like makes prim decorations. Had that idea. So definitely not something I came up with myself, just something someone else shared in their crafty love. And I'm kind of looking around and fidgeting with it and deciding where I want to add one of these little rusty bells to. And I decide I'm going to put one at the tip of the heart. And I think it looked really good there. I love that word believe. So here I am going super fast to cover this star. I think I'd already shot this in super fast mode anyway. I wish I could go that fast. But I decide I'm going to put one of these little rusty bells right in the middle, and it's one of the bigger ones. And so I kind of hold it in place and I add some extra glue to it. And I honestly just hold it there until it dries. Then I'm going to add one of these to it. And this is one of them that I was talking about where I kind of decide to put it sideways. And so I'll end up putting a little glue underneath that part. And I feel like my bell's moving around, so I end up putting a little bit of glue up at the top part of it in the front. And then I add one of these little tiny cute buttons to the front. I've had those forever, but you can still find them at the craft stores. I've seen them at Joann's, AC Moore's, and Michael's. So that's basically it. I'm going to kind of run through and show you all the different ones I've made. Like I said, I got carried away. Between this one and the last video, I ended up making so many different ornaments that I could probably cover my tree in what I've made now. Well, almost. But I just love these. I really love that white look to these to kind of look like a wreath. I can't wait to maybe even try covering a wreath with this stuff. I just think it came out so pretty. And I think I'm going to go back and make more, but I want to finish this 12 Days of Christmas series before I do all that. I finally had to tell myself that I needed to move on to the next ornament that I could share with you guys. And I hope this just gives you some different ideas of different things you can do. You know, even if you can't find some of these little pieces, definitely look in what you already have, you know, whether it is the ribbon or the homespun or anything. And definitely look at Walmart, you know, where these little pieces are. You know, $2 for 6 of those little owls. You know, when you think about how much it cost you to make these, and they come out so cute. I just love them. So I hope you all enjoyed them as much as I enjoyed making them. If you stuck around with me for this long, I so do appreciate it. I appreciate all the comments, all the love, all the feedback that you guys give me. And I love making this stuff. So sharing it with you in this way, does a little something for me as well. I really do enjoy it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. If you hit the bell afterwards, that'll notify you every time I upload a new video. Down in the description box, I will leave a link to the other 3 Days of Christmas ornaments that I've already made, along with some other fun crafty stuff that I've done here in the past couple weeks now. I hope to come up with some more DIYs that you guys will enjoy. I love pulling things from the Dollar Tree and Joann's and Michael's, AC Moore, Hobby Lobby. I love pulling all my stuff together. And I've been a crafter for so many years that I have so many different things, you know, that I can kind of pull from. And I hope that you do too, you know, that you can kind of even look at your stash, or even when you go to the store and you see different things, of thinking different ways that you can use that, especially just to make ornaments or just to make handmade things for fun, whether it's for your family or for craft shows or anything like that. And to just have time to craft it up and have some fun. I simply love doing this. It's just one of those things that it's my out. It's one of the few things that I really just love doing. Again, thanks for watching. There's quite a few more pictures I think I have here to show you of the rest of the ornaments I created. So stay around to the very end to see them all. I hope you all have time in your day to craft it up, and stay tuned for more in this series. Take care.